Welcome everybody, this is the second game tonight of Southern Cross Dota's Tide Wrath Season 3. Low Priority Kings taking out the first game in emphatic fashion. I am the Spectre, joining me Daredevil Dan. Welcome.
Yeah, it was a really good first game there by LPK. Pandemonium just lost their lanes too badly, I think. Did you put up the thing to show who won the first game?
Yes, I did.
I can't see it.
It's
Covering
hidden.
It. Oh.
Hidden.
But yeah, so we see the Naix ban out and the Batrider. Naix actually banned out by the people who used it last game. So, not wanting to play against it. And just getting it out of the pool. Probably see pretty standard things banned out. OD, Naga Siren, Darkseer, ET. The standard stuff. Generally bans don't really surprise many people in the first phase, unless the teams know each other. Then there can be sort of little hidden things in there that they just ban out a hero that the other players are known for.
Yeah, I think it'll be just generalized bans. I personally don't know anyone in LPK. The only people who I know have preferred heroes is EJ, plays a pretty good Tinker. Lisbeen definitely loves that Jakiro, so...
Radiance
apart from that, Swift is kind of a bit of a puck lover. But I wouldn't say any of them, it's not like a signature hero per se.
Yeah, and they just banned out the two heroes they owned with, so that's how you do it, man.
So
ban out the things you own with.
They might be going for a bit of a different strategy this time. Banning out the Elder Titan kind of lends me to believe you want to go for a big team fight lineup, as well as the Naix, who can just basically dodge everything by going into Rage. We see the OD banned out, so, you know, still the Naga, the Nyx, the Visage, all available. Just these high-level supports is, you know, there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, there really is, and first pick in Aussie Dota surprises me more often than not, but it is going to be pretty standard with the Naga Siren. Pandemonium, maybe return with something like a Darkseer. I mean, you can go Darkseer Alchemist, but please don't pick Alchemist. I just really don't like Alchemist, and even with a Darkseer, your lanes have got to win.
I think he's still okay if you have something like a Magnus, because the RP and power cleave damage on an Alchemist, if he gets some farm up, is completely insane. Like, it can straight up win you a game getting off a good RP if your Alchemist is even half as farmed as the enemy carry. So, yeah, that's a combo that I still like. It's just that Mag isn't really played that often. He's kind of really fallen out of the meta.
Yeah, they took away his ability to get a solo kill at 6 on mid with the damage reduction to reverse polarity. So he pretty much fell out mostly because of that. That was the big change to him anyway, and that combo is nice. I still prefer the Sven for doing that, just because it's nice to like one-hit crit a whole team. It's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I mean, they're going to pick up the Visage and Weaver, so going for a very annoying lineup so far. I mean, there's nothing else that you can really use to describe the Weaver, but, you know, having a Naga Siren, the net does hold him down so well. You're going to need to throw out a lot of sentries into a lane against a Weaver. I mean, he could go solo off, he can go mid, he can be a farmer and a try. He can be an aggressive try as well. Like, Weaver is probably one of the heroes that can be played in any lane. He's not the best mid in the world. I would definitely prefer to see him in a try lane, but he's just so annoying to deal with. But they really have two of the best supports to kind of deal with that. Naga Siren with the net, and of course Rubik. Having such a low cast time on the left, if Weaver comes through with Sakuchi, with fast enough reactions, you can just lift him up instantly before he gets too far away. And drop him down and a sentry into range of a Naga Siren
10 seconds to go.
So, you know, LPK building their team pretty well at the moment. Do you think they're going to try and go aggressive, or just play it defensive and farm up again?
Dire's ban.
I don't know. I think with the Weaver Visage, you should go offensive. You can play it super safe and farm up the Weaver. And Weaver's pretty scary with a lot of farm, but even if you're going try-v-try, Weaver can still farm that.
Radiance
like,
ban.
just at level 2, once you've got the Geminate, they can't over deny your last hits unless they can time it quite well within the attacks. So I do like him in aggressive. And banning out the gyro kind of leads you to believe that they want to do that, just because they won't have the burst with gyrocopter and the net. Plus you've got the instant lift, which obviously is, as soon as you cast it, you lift them up. There's no delay or anything, whereas the net does have quite a long delay. So it's a good setup for it, but I definitely like the aggressive tri-lane here, depending what low priority pick up as their carry. But I don't think there's really anything they could pick up now to force the Weaver out of the lane.
Reserve time.
Yeah, it's going to be... Because the gyro gets banned out, there's not that kind of burst damage coming through from Rocket Barrage. If they get off the net and the lift with a Fade Bolt and Riptide, you really need some sort of big nuke. I mean, Alchemist does provide that. It would then be also a triple stun lane that would definitely be able to kill off a Weaver. I mean, that physical damage nuke coming out from Unstable Concoction is really damaging against the Weaver early on.
Reserve time.
But I don't know, do we see a Keeper of the Light Phantom Lancer pick up here from Pandemonium?
PL actually fits into this lineup really nicely as well. Or a Luna, but Luna doesn't fit quite as well against the Timbersaw. But they're going to pick up the Clockwork. Could go mid. They could be like, yeah, we'll trick them. They won't ban PL now because we've got our tri-lane and our off-lane. But it could still fit, depending what they're going to put mid. Timbersaw most likely to be their mid. Or their offlane. I'd still prefer Timbersaw mid just to give him the levels, then he can leave and just own. And the early Bloodstone. But if you want to sort of dominate the early game, he works better on an offlane, I think. But if you want to dominate the mid, I think he works better as a mid. So it all really depends. Clockwork can do fine against him as well. You can also do the leveling up of cogs and just try and hit him with it every time. And once it's a decent level, he can't hold the mana.
Yeah, it's definitely very dangerous. Before Timbersaw has something up like the Mana Boots, plus at least 1 or 2 regen items, it's very hard to keep your mana pool up if you're trying to spam out that Whirling Death as well as a couple of Timber Chains here and there. Of course, it's mainly just Whirling Death when you're in that mid lane role, but a couple of cogs, if you level it up especially, the drain is pretty insane as well. 200 or so at max? Yeah, 200. Drain at max level, so I mean it's gonna be very dangerous for whoever goes in this mid lane, because if they don't aggressive try against LPK, they're just gonna have someone that can sit in lane and farm safely by themselves and have a roaming Nargasiren and Rubik, and with someone with as much burst and dive potential as a Timbersaw, it's gonna be very hard to play in that mid lane. Yeah,
and picking up the anti-mage is pretty exciting for me. I love anti-mage. I love seeing anti-mage. I love playing anti-mage. I love everything about him.
You love to.
But you've got to be manly. Yeah, I do love to bop creeps. Bopping creeps is like my lifestyle. But I'd actually like to see a safe lane anti-mage. He can, and they might even want to do it because Clockwork can sometimes beat him in lane, depending. I think that revolves a lot around player skill. Because you can burn all his mana, then he's easy to gank. But he can burn all your mana, and then you're easy to gank. So it's sort of two ways. And they could even run the Timbersaw, Rubik, Nargasiren tri-lane, which is a pretty sweet tri-lane. I've seen Hans Reborn do Timbersaw in a tri-lane.
Yep.
Because Balls obviously loves his Timbersaw, and it's ridiculously good. But I think this 5th pick from Pandemonium is really going to show us what they're going to do.
Yeah, at the moment, they have some split push capability with Visage Birds as well as Weaver. You've got Keeper of the Light, which is great at defending pushes. Do we see the final pickup of Phantom Lancer to try and maybe man-fight the Anti-Mage a little bit? But, I mean, Anti-Mage is going to be building into a Battle Fury more or less. So, illusions are semi-neutered in that sense, but, you know, do Pandas go for that split push lineup? Or do they go for something like an Undying?
That's surprising. I think... But who's their mid? It's either Clockwork or Undying.
I'm going
and against the Shadow Fiend, that's not good either way.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a Shadow Fiend farmer. We see Hung taking it up, and Anti-Mage actually being played by 425, who was the mid last game. So maybe they're thinking that the Clockwork is going to be mid, and they're going to put an Anti-Mage against him, and then get ultra greedy with their lineup. Put a Shadow Fiend with a Naga Siren and Rubik, Timbersaw in the off lane, and then, you know, the Naga Siren and Rubik can rotate, help out the Anti-Mage if they need to.
And that's a pretty nice tri-lane too, because of all the lockdown, you've got the razors. You need level 3, though, on that Shadow Fiend to really do anything in that lane. And K, more known to play support, was the carry last game, so on the Undying now. So I think they're really just switching around roles. They don't have a dedicated role per person, per se, except Swift is generally always the mid.
And Liz is always the hard 5.
Yeah, and going on the Clockwork kind of says that that'll be the mid player, unless they're doing swaps and stuff now to confuse us, which I could see Swift doing.
That would be absolutely horrible. Why would you do that? But we can introduce the teams. On the side of Pandemonium, our Dota is Hard champions, we have K on Undying, EJ on the Weaver, Lisbeen on the Keeper of the Light, Swift on the Clockwork, and the final player, Car, who needs to pick up the other hero. Who was the other hero? I always forget.
I'm not telling you, man. I'm just gonna leave you there.
Okay.
And on LPK, we have Sop playing the Naga Siren, Anti-Mage is being played by 425, Hung is being played by Shadow Fiend, Bammies is on that Rubik, and Martin is playing the Timbersaw.
So the other hero is the Visage.
Yeah.
I remember.
You got it eventually.
I
thought I'd leave you there.
What a dick. But we're gonna have the teams ready to go now. Looks like Car may have just been out of the room. Does load in now, so we can see where they want to go with this. I mean, Undying is great. If they try to dive you in a tri-lane situation, you just throw out that tombstone and basically let it rip. And Swift so far heading to the top lane, but are they just trying to protect this area and lay down a ward, or what are they hoping to achieve here? Undying goes for Decay first level, and Lisbeen heading to the top, so it looks like they're going to aggro try maybe with the Visage, Undying, and Keeper of the Light.
I like it.
That's an early game tri lane if ever I've seen one.
I like it. I mean, people don't really remember the days of Undying in Dota 1, because he wasn't there for that long and a lot of people didn't watch competitive, but he was like insane. Because Tombstone was insane when he got the Tombstone, because he used to have Necrolight's Aura, which did damage over time. But once he got Tombstone up and this Undying, he was used a lot just for the Tombstone. And with the Tombstone slow, you've got Kaz slow, and Liz's nuke damage from the Illuminate. That's a lot of DPS to come out. And against... It's not actually going to be the Shadow Fiend, it's going to be the Anti-Mage, but against Rubik and against the Naga, and even the Anti-Mage to start off with before he gets any spell shield up, they can get kills on this lane, but they have to play it right. And this is one of those aggressive tri-lanes that's a make or break tri-lane. If they lose this, that's probably the game.
I think what I like most about it is that you can just keep on using Chakra on Undying. Undying can just decay away as much as he likes. And if you get a big Illuminate off on a decayed person, it's almost a one-shot kill. Like, if you follow that up with even like a half-charged Soul Assumption, it's basically a kill from full health, especially on someone like an Anti-Mage, who, unless he gets a lot of points up into that spell shield, is going to be very vulnerable to the right-clicks coming out of here, as well as the spell damage.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to need to get the spell shield pretty early. He hasn't leveled anything yet. But this lane ward obviously very nice as well, but Car going on Bammies just going to harass him out a little. They don't really have a great deal of damage at level 1. They need the level 2 on basically all these heroes, and then they can dominate this lane.
Yeah, now they know that Car has the first level Grave Chill, so they know that it's not as scary as sort of a level 1 Soul Assumption, but you can do things like this. Just slow him down and get so many right clicks out. Bammies already dropping to under half health, so it's some nice harass that the supports can do solo, and Car's just more than happy to throw out this mana as much as he wants, because as soon as Liz hits level 2, she can just chakra him up as much as she wants.
Yeah, the Chakra is going to keep them on this lane, and I think a lot's going to rely on this lane. And Car now going for another Slayer, as you said, just getting the harass out. K actually coming in, doing a lot of damage. Tombstone to drop. Bami's on really low health here. One more decay will kill him here, but the last hit is going to come out from Car. Sop now on the back end, and Sop looking to die here as well. Car getting out of the way. Nice Illuminate coming through. The last hit's going to come out on Visage once again for another kill. Bami's now trying to clean up Car on the back end. The range creep is going to get him. K in a lot of trouble here now. Right click's coming out from Bami's. He's going to get the lift off. 425 now coming in to try and get any hits off. No mana left on K, but he's so tanky. He is going to fall here though. So in the end, a 2 for 2. But getting the first blood on Panda.
Yeah, but, you know, between that as well, LPK 425 living throughout the entire fight, so manages to get 1 assist and also doesn't die, whereas the farmer in the tri-lane, the Undying, does fall at the end there. He did get the experience from the kills, but was one of the other heroes to die, so he's going to also have to walk to lane. Didn't have enough money for a TP. So he's going to lose out on experience a little bit here. Anti-Mage sitting about 3.5, 3 3/4, and Undying about a half a level behind now.
Yeah, I mean, they won and lost that engagement. The farmer died on Panda, which it didn't on LPK, but they got the first blood. So, in gold, they got ahead, but in worth, I think they slightly got behind.
Yeah, getting a double kill up on Visage early is pretty decent. It's allowed him to get up his boots. You can maybe think of going into that medallion decently early on. We're going to see a Decay kind of split the wickets there, go between Anti-Mage and Rubik. The Illuminate does hit on Bami's, and it's going to be hard for him to stay in this lane. 425 getting chilled up, needs to blink away. And Clockwork actually getting a solo kill on the Shadow Fiend in mid lane, so some nice plays coming out from Swift.
Yeah, Swift having the damage build with 2 levels in Cog and now 3 levels in Battery Assault. A Shadow Fiend low levels is very easy to kill. He doesn't have anything, and 45 on this lane, taking a hell of a lot of damage. Car actually going to come around on the back end.
And he's going to run into Lisbeen. He throws out a Soul Assumption at basically nothing, but it's going to be a death of the Anti-Mage, and because of that lane ward, they knew that the supports weren't anywhere near the hero, and they just easily dive under the tower, and a nice pickup on the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, that was really big for them as well. And Anti-Mage, he's got no farm. He's died twice, and Clockwork now getting a kill on that Naga Siren. Trying to defend the rune. You ain't defending that rune. Clockwork's gonna come kill you.
I'm missing all of Swift's kills. I'm sorry, buddy, but I've missed both of them now. Martin, in fact, dropping a little bit low now as well. The Sakuchi damage of the Weaver doing quite a bit of work. If we look into the top lane, they have 2-5. A Decay has hit him. And you can see the kind of damage that this Decay is doing. Anti-Mage opting for stats as well as Blink and Mana Break. I think I would have liked to see at least 1 point in that Spell Shield. When most of this damage is magical, and it's, what, 26% at level 1, I think? Yeah, 26%. So it's a large amount of damage that you're mitigating.
Yeah, I don't think he should be getting stats here. I think that's the wrong move on Anti-Mage. Even just getting the blink up levels, I think, is more worth. If they're going to kill you, they're probably just going to kill you. So 1 level of it will be nice, and he has picked that up now. He was holding on to that level. He's actually he's holding on to another level.
Oh yeah, because it's the +2 from branches.
Why is he holding on to levels?
I'm
Be
not
greedy,
too sure.
man. Use your levels.
He's taking a lot of hits from creeps under tower. He needs to be really careful here because all of the supports as well as K are coming in. A Soul Rip is going to come out as well as a Decay. He's running at around 100 health. He's now in the trees, but they know exactly where he is. K's just going to come in, needs to be careful. The Tombstone gets dropped out. It finds Anti-Mage. He's got 3 seconds still on his blink. The Grave Chill and Soul Assumption come out, and it's another kill on the Anti-Mage.
He didn't level his blink there. He's level 5, and he's got 2 levels in stats. That is the wrong build for this game.
Yeah, right then, if he had even 1 higher level in Blink, it would have come off cooldown that extra 3 seconds earlier that he needed, and he would have got away. Now Vsop in danger. Getting dived under this tower, the Soul Rip is going to come out. The Soul Assumption, he does manage to use his stick charges, but he lives through, and Undying picks up a kill. It's now 7-2 in this early game.
I'm watching this game, and is this the same LPK we just saw?
The Dire might want to
Because
mine
they
that
are
top
playing
tower.
completely differently as what they played last game. I mean, skilling, I don't think it's just my opinion. This anti-mage is
Radiant's mid
skilling
tower's
wrong for this
coming
game.
apart.
Oh, definitely.
And he could have gotten away. Sop basically just giving away his life for walking in there. They can dive you with these 3 heroes. They are not afraid to just get in there and kill you. And with 3 levels on Tombstone now, plus the Flesh Golem up, they can do it again and again and again and again. I think this is when you just go, alright, maybe we need to leave this lane if 3 are going to stay here and try and do something else. But with the anti-mage build that he's got, he can't do anything else. He's built for pure farm, and he's not going to get it.
It does translate okay into the jungle because you have some extra stats to kind of live a bit longer, deal out a little bit more damage, but he has no items. He's just got boots and 160 gold. He doesn't even have a poor man shield up at this point. And he's going up against K, who's now dropping a tombstone solo against Anti-Mage and dropping him down. Visage
Yeah, we
and
saw the
Swift
initiation.
are gonna
Did
go
you see
for it.
Swift's kill yet?
No.
Did you see?
Dire
Oh,
structure's
it
looking
was a
fortified.
sweet hook in between heaps of creeps, and he just clipped him. It was like right next to the range creep.
Alright, I've
That was
got
a
the
nice
camera
hook.
locked on Swift now.
But yeah, and the Visage just TPing in, pinged the hero. Swift went, alright, hooked him, mini stuns. You can't raise when you're getting stunned by Clockwork, because the stuns are too often.
And you certainly can't ultimate.
No, well, no.
Yeah, you'd love to,
Dire's
but
lost the
completely
top
impossible.
tower.
We're going to see a haste rune on Swift. Martin needs to be very careful. The battery assault popped off, and he can easily chase. Even with that timber chain, he can come through. But the burst damage coming through on Swift, the tower should be enough to kill him off. One more shot.
Oh,
No,
bottle.
2 health. The bottle charges coming out. And that haste rune is going to let him get
Go,
out
EJ.
scot-free.
No.
EJ's diving through, but
Dire's
can't
top
get onto
tower's
Timbersaw.
getting
Uses a
beat
time-lapse to get back. And that courier going dangerously close. If EJ had stayed in there, I think it would have been taken out by the tower. So,
Dire's bottom tower's getting
you know, they do
business.
manage to take out top tower, which we did see before. And they're already pressuring that second tower. Car has mana boots as well. So we've got double mana
Dire's
boots.
top tower.
Plus a Keeper
You
of
know
the
the
Light in
drill.
this top lane. They are never going to run out of mana for this push. They can throw out Tombstones and
Radiant's
Decays
mid
and
tower
Soul
can
Rips
use
to
a
their
hand.
heart's content. And this T2 is
Dire's
dropping
top
fast.
tower. You know the drill.
Yeah, they need to get some people up here to defend this, but even if they do, can they? They've got a Tombstone. And Tombstone is like the ultimate team fight move, and it's not even an ultimate. You put that down, and at this stage of the game, they can't actually kill the Tombstone, because it has 400, how much health does it have? It has a lot, and they don't have the right clicks to kill it. And SF, he's hitting for like 100, but it's not enough to kill this Tombstone.
And on top of that, if you get a nice cogs off inside of a tombstone area, that hero is just dead.
Dire's mid
You're not
tower
going to be able to
is
kill off
fail.
all of the zombies, and it's just too painful. K now diving in behind. We're going to see a soul rip. Oh, and unfortunately walking in
mid
front of the hook
tower's
from
having
Swift. K does get lifted up. The raise is just going to miss because he gets thrown back. And Illuminate is going to hit on Bam. He's just missing out on Shadow Fiend.
Dire's mid
Now
tower
Martin
will
trying to go
last
for a kill on Swift. Swift bottling up. Throws out the cogs as well, so there's going to be no more initiation there. But on the back end, K's going to get netted up. We're going to see a big kill coming out on that Undying. But Shadow Fiend does go down. Car now on a killing spree.
Yeah, and I don't think Panda would even be that upset about that trade. They killed the
Dire's
Shadow
mid
Fiend. He
tower
doesn't
won't
even have
last much longer.
treads. And Undying, sure, is your farmer, but if we look at his items, he's almost got a mech. He just needs the recipe now. It's not on the
Dire's
courier, is it?
mid
No, he's
tower's
not tricking me.
having
It's not on the
technical
courier.
difficulties.
So he's going to get the mech, and when you're farming, quote unquote, an Undying, and he's got a mech this early, and mana boots, and your Weaver's been sitting bot, heading creeps all day, you don't really mind trading him for a Shadow Fiend.
I guess he's higher priority in this lineup than he usually is, so it still is. You're basically trading your kind of number 2 for their number 2, so. But I think a Shadow Fiend is much better to shut down than an Undying, especially as you said with the item progression he has.
Yeah, and Shadow Fiend has to get honor rolled, or else he just feels completely useless.
we're going to see a little bit of a group up at top. Car's going to come and join them. Sitting on only mana boots and a wand is quite poor at the moment. 425 desperately trying to farm up still. Has only just got his treads. And these Visage Familiars are just following Anti-Mage around.
Yeah, they're just zoning him out. They want this tier 2, and there's nothing to stop them. There's 3 bot. They were going to try and gank the Weaver, but Weaver didn't go out of position. He didn't dive a tower. He didn't get baited in. And when you can't see that many heroes on the map, and when you've got so much vision
Swift may
top,
run
you
into
know they're not
Sop
there.
here. We're going to see pings out. He knows he's there. He's going to get the hook off. Sop is caught here. He gets thrown out of his own cogs. Needs to fight his way back in. The Riptide comes out with the Rocket Flare. And I pick up Swift's kill. Now on a killing spree.
1 out of 3, James. You're probably the best caster ever.
Oh yeah. Don't doubt my abilities.
Yeah, nice. I mean, he knew that they were there, but he didn't care. And this Clockwork's so good against this team. Shadow Fiend can't cast anything. Naga can't cast a net. Can she even cast her sleep when she's getting mini stun? Because it's got a bit of... She can't. No. So, Swift can kill 2 of those heroes with no repercussions until Shadow Fiend has a VKB, which, by the look of this game, he's never actually going to get.
Yeah, just at the moment, Panda's playing their lineup perfectly, being aggressive where they need to be, but not only that, they're not grouping up too much. They always have the Weaver in a separate lane. I think kind of the biggest pitfall of these early push lineups is people start to 5-man too early, and then they'll have someone in the jungle, they'll have someone in one lane, have someone getting all the creeps that you're pushing into their tower, and they just start to out-level and get more gold than you as well. So it's good that they always have this Weaver in a separate lane. He's level 10, almost level 11, I believe. Yeah, sitting at 10 3/4. And he's got an ultimate orb up now. So, you know, EJ's farm is, you know, pretty decent. He's, at the moment, the lead CSer. If we take a look at net worth, being completely dominated by Pandas at the moment.
Yeah, they're definitely on a back foot this game, and this kind of feels reminiscent of Game 1, except the other way around. Pandas are pretty much completely destroying LPK right now. They've got up the mech for 13 minutes, which on a carry isn't that good, but they're aggressive. He wasn't bopping creeps. He ain't no Sandy Mage or Dying Mage or whatever. He's getting kills. He's just getting in there, and I think that's what they're going to do, and they can just force fights. Shadow Fiend can't do anything without a Shadow Blade or a BKB, and there's no sleep on Naga, so they have nothing to be afraid of doing this.
I think the biggest thing to mention at this point... Oh, we're going to see a hook in on by Swift. He's going to catch out Martin. No trees in sight. He gets taken out instantly, and that's a big kill to grab. Hung gets hit by the cogs. He's trying to run onto Manoli, and the flare's going to get him. A double kill for Swift. Car's coming through. He's trying to kill him, but the mech comes out. Was it a mech? No, Magic Wand charges coming out just in time and saves his life. But what I was going to say before that fight is the biggest teller of this game is Anti-Mage, Shadow Fiend, Timbersaw. These are all snowball heroes. They need a good early game to transition into a farming mid game to win. And they are 12,000 gold behind at 15 minutes in.
That's insane. What was it last game? At 18 minutes, it was 14,000 gold.
Yeah.
So, it's like the same game, but different teams.
These teams have changed the stomping boots, and it's obviously the Radiant advantage. See,
yeah,
everyone talks about the Dire advantage, but we're in Australia. Everything's backwards. It's the Radiant advantage here.
Yeah, it's all upside down, man. All upside down. And I'm, what, in a state of Australia? Because New Zealand's state.
According to the Constitution.
Well, I'm fine with it. I mean, I don't care. I'm not a Kiwi, technically, so...
Yeah, you are. You just got citizenship.
That's true, yeah, I am a citizen, so I'm technically a full-fledged Kiwi. Don't need a visa to visit you now.
And there you go.
Yeah.
But right now, Pandas have grouped up. EJ is sitting on enough mana to go for the Perseverance. The Tombstone gets dropped out behind the tower, and they still don't have the right-click power to take it down. You see Shadow Fiend trying to kill it, and he's using all of his right-clicks to try and take him down, and nothing is happening. They might be able to take it down now. 130 gold is going to go their way, but their T3 tower is down at almost 350 health.
This is pretty rough for LPK, and losing one Rex with the team they have right now is pretty bad. But 425 this whole time's been farming. He's like,
Ooh.
I love this, man.
The
This
Song
is
of the
so
Siren
good.
coming out now. The SF ultimate's going to be wound up. It comes out, not many souls, but still enough damage. But they're going to turn around now. Undying takes a fall card, trying to get out of there, but a fully charged Soul Assumption takes him down. 425 is looking to do something, but kind of just stands still there for a while. Gets right-clicked out and needs to run away. In the end, a 2-for-2 trade, but trading the Clockwork and Undying for 2 supports, that's definitely something that LPK can be happy about.
Yeah, they're pretty happy with that. That went as good as it could for them. I don't think they were going to get any more. 425 came in to try and go cleanup crew, but he's got treads in a ring. He doesn't actually do anything. 17 minutes treads ring is pretty depressing for an anti-mage. I think like the latest you can get a Battle Fury and actually still think you're going to win is like 20 minutes.
22, I'd say.
But 22, alright. Because
That's usually my kind of cutoff.
yeah, I mean the base on an anti-mage is 25-minute treads, Battle Fury, Manta. That's like the timing. Anything before 25 minutes, you're doing well.
Yeah, I mean, EJ, if you look at him, he has a Perseverance up, as well as the Ultimate Orb, and oddly, Phase Boots. A lot of Weavers go for Treads, just because it gives you that little bit more survivability, but deciding not to do that. Swift is going to get very aggro on LPK Martin, and he does Timber Chain away. Swift does have the hook, but choosing not to chase. Just doing a bit of harass, and I mean, those skills usually cost you a lot of mana, but he has a point booster, as well as a bottle, and a magic wand with quite a few charges, so he's not going to be too worried, as well as I think 3 mana boots on his team. No, 2 mana boots, plus a Keeper of the Light, so I don't think using spells to harass is really going to hurt him too much.
No, he's pretty fine with it. They've got like 1 billion mana on their team. Like, mana burn on anti-mage isn't actually going to help to get rid of mana, it'll just give him a bit more damage, so he has actually got 2 levels on the spell shield, and if you're gonna get spell shield past level 1, you max it. Because it doesn't actually go up that much. It doubles from level 1 to 4, which for any skill is kind of bad. And like a defensive skill wise, I mean, there's no real point if you're gonna get it, as I said before, if you're gonna get it level 1, you get it level, if you're gonna get it level 2, you get it level 4.
Oddly, I mean, speaking of decisions, we have Ka, who's bought up the medallion on the Visage, and then goes for an ultimate orb, so not going for the kind of traditional Aghanim Scepter build, which I think I would have preferred to see. I mean, he would have had 3.7k gold if he didn't pick up that ultimate orb, and that's virtually an Aghanim Scepter, and having 3 birds is generally underrated. We're going to see them go into the Roshan pit, but it's going to get scouted out. K might be in a bit of trouble. Sop not throwing out the song just yet. Now it comes out. Hung getting in a good position. The ultimate gets thrown out. It's going to hit on quite a few, but not too much damage being dealt. Martin's coming through with the big pure damage hits. We're going to have Weaver.
Look at all the zombies!
Out, but look at these zombies coming out. Undying already picks off the Rubik. Vsop running for his life. Can he go against these zombies? Chakram doesn't work against zombies, Martin. Keep running! Vsop is going down! He's going down! He goes down to the zombies, and Martin's still running. He doesn't have any health, and the Visage Familiar is coming through as well. It's going to be another kill, and it's just the zombie apocalypse.
I like how Gift Me Mana Kotl won an item.
We're going to see a buyback from Timbersaw now, and Weaver's just going to miss out on that tower. 17 damage left. Will the Visage Familiar get it with his little gold? But no, Bammies takes out the Familiar, and the tower gets denied, so a little bit of gold taken out there. And Swift picking up his Aghanim Scepter.
Oh man, he's going to be like hooking all the time. He's basically just turned into a prostitute.
It's basically just a Friday night for Swift.
I'm not. Is that a compliment or an insult?
Depends how you want to take it.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment to Swift.
They're gonna go for Roshan again. I don't know,
especially
why they keep on trying to get him down. They don't have the greatest lineup to do this.
There's no sleep.
Ka has the medallion, but what are they trying to achieve here? Sop's gonna walk right into it. Ka not having the Grave Chill for another 2 seconds. He's gonna get lifted up. The net comes out, but the Tombstone gets dropped down. And
what
the
is
pause
this?
coming out.
Oh man! Oh, I'm sorry. Professionalism. They're lagging. They're lagging in the team fight. Shadowfiend's lagging. Be professional.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Sort of.
Sorta.
They're
I
up
don't
at
know,
about
man.
130, according to Allping.
Ooh, are you checking the pings?
Yeah. They're like all in the hundreds. So maybe it was a bit of a spike, but he's in mid lane. It doesn't matter if he's lagging, to be
Yeah,
honest.
he shouldn't have paused that if he was lagging.
And we're going to see Timbersaw trying to get away there. The Cogs is going to catch Vsop. Weaver also catching out Rubik, so still a 2-for-0 trade there. Carr did throw out the ultimate, but he's going to have a Hooded Defiance finished up, and I mean, how do you kill this Undying?
Well, they killed him just before, so I mean, they definitely can. But once again, Roche time, and maybe they'll manage to get it this time.
Third time's the charm.
LPK gonna try to stop him for a third time. Anti-mage is farming, standard.
He's been trying to farm as hard as he can. He's almost got the broadsword, but he still needs the mana stone, mana void, mana something, null talisman. No, I don't know. The null stone, is it?
What do you want about?
The damn mana regeneration item. I always
Void
forget the
Stone?
name. Void Stone. I had like every part of it apart from the complete. He still needs his Void Stone after that, so...
You could have just clicked on the shop.
I know, but I wanted to guess it and I couldn't, and it just made me look like a dumbass. But Anti-Mage, the point is still way away from his Battle Fury and still going for that Battle Fury. Trying to push down a T1 while his Rax is getting hit on. So
he should have gone Maelstrom Vanguard.
Right now.
it is a decently legit build when you're behind. Oh, we're going to see a hook in. Hung, caught in place. He's not going to be able to get out of this. He's not Timbersaw.
He's
the
still
song
dying.
coming out, but the zombies, as well as the battery assault, just doing too much. Vsop trying to run away, but there's a fully charged Soul Assumption coming through. EJ's going to be able to pick up the kill. And this mid-rack's not going down quite yet because for some reason it seemed to be regenning, but LPK are going to tap out. 25-7. I'm pretty sure that was the score last game.
It wasn't, was it? That would be
I'm
too...
pretty sure it was. And Panda win, an excellent pickup for them. So Stomp's going to either team. If we look at the experience this game, around 11k ahead. The gold kind of equalized out after that big lead at the beginning, 17k. But Panda's hit back and it's now 1-1. It's going to be going to a game 3.